Oh, come on. Hey everyone, you know the drill. Hope you had an absolutely amazing week as usual. Now, I've built up my new comp bike recently and I've been dying to get out riding it, but the weather has had other plans. It has been so wet just in the UK the last couple of weeks. It's been so annoying. I've not had a real good chance to get out and try this bike yet. Okay, that's not totally accurate. There was an amazing day last week where I took this bike to some coastal rock somewhere I've never ridden before. It looks amazing. And I forgot to bring my camera batteries, didn't I? I managed to get like one clip, which you see here. And that's it, batteries run out. Now then, I have had a couple of baby rides on this bike just to kind of make sure all the bolts are tight, and there's a couple of things I did change. The most obvious one being the front brake. You may notice I now have a rather bright MT7 on the front rather than the MT6. The MT6 is definitely the lighter brake, but I wanted a bit more bite. With this style of riding, I want a really powerful front brake, so an MT7 just has that little bit more power. The other thing that I decided was that the Echo cage pedals just weren't grippy enough. I'm not sure what it is with cage pedals. I think they need some modification. You need to remove some pins so it's not like a bed of nails where your weight is distributed too much. You need some pressure points in there, remove some of those points and you actually get a bit more grip. So I might do that in the future, but for now I've got some crank brother mallet pedals on, which I actually stole from my mountain bike. So I'm gonna see how we get on with those. The only other thing I've really done is roll the bars back. Now, every time I see Jack Carthy and Charlie Rawls ride, I'm like, man, that looked amazing. I would love to be able to do that type of riding. But the more I try and ride with a bike setup like they have to allow that style of riding, the more I think, nah, I really don't like it. So rather than try and play to strengths I don't have, play to strengths I do have. So by rolling the bars back, the bike suits me a little bit more and I should be a bit more comfortable on it and allow me to do bigger and better things. But I will have to find out and see if that's true or not. But anyway, less chat, let's get on with some riding. Well, there's something I've never done before. It's actually quite scary. That would have been the save of a century. Right, well, first impressions, rolling these bars back, definitely the way forward for me personally. Now, I know most comp riders roll the bars forward and there's huge advantages for that, but for me, being used to an older school setup, being used to riding my Inspired, having them further back means I'm just more used to it. And yeah, I feel quite comfortable on this, just after a little ride. So yeah, fingers crossed for bigger and better stuff. Speaking of, there's some bigger, better stuff up the hill. Let's go up there. On-offs don't count. No! The thing that gets me is every time I crouch down, the wall suddenly becomes a lot higher, or in this case, a log. And it really puts me off. So the annoying thing is, I know I can jump that high, but when it suddenly becomes almost shoulder height, your mind plays tricks on you. Yo! Oh, keep it, keep it. Right, don't land on that bit. Well, I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to get that or not, but yeah, I'm pleased that I did. One of the bigger jumps I've done for a long time. Now, if you've been a follower of my journey for a long time, you'll know that I've never really been a big fan of hydraulic rear rim brakes, aka Magura rim brakes, but instead preferring V-brakes on the back. Now, I won't go into all the details why, but yeah, this is the first non-Magura hydraulic rim brake that I've tried. With these Tratec levers having a higher mechanical ratio, aka more force, they're actually really impressing me. My own brake pads are working really well despite this being an old grind. Put my greasy hands all over it when fitting this tyre. It's working really well. I did have a couple of slips, but the holding power is way better than I've ever had with any other hydraulic rim brake. So yeah, I'm impressed with it so far. I need to get a new fresh grind on this rim and see how the back brake performs then, because if it's this good with this rim as it is, then yeah, with a fresh grind it should be pretty amazing. There's a line here which I've looked at before and I just cannot figure out a way to get me up the end of this log here. I can see a couple of different ways that I think would be possible, but either I can't do it or I don't dare do it. I want to have a look today on this bike because I'm feeling fairly confident, but there's still a few things that I don't like about it. So this is what it looks like from this side. Essentially, you've got to start on this log here, kind of where that nubbin is there, and you've only got half a pedal, like, well, basically just a bit over a bike's length, to try and get up it. Now, on the top of here, you've only got a narrow width you can actually stay on, and yeah, either side, you don't want to fall down there. And if you get up to the top, you don't want to have to jump down to the side either. So it's quite big, it's a short run up, and it's a narrow run up. And there's not many things I like about this at all. I think first attempt for me, the most likely for me to get up this, is to try a half pedal tap up the end. And it's a sloped edge, so taps go up nicely on slope stuff, but it's full commitment. If you don't make it up to back wheel, or if your back wheel goes off slightly, you're going to fall a long way. The other option is to somehow get set up and then jump up to front wheel. I think that's a safer approach, but it's a technique I'm not as good at. So yeah, do I go for the more comfortable but more dangerous approach, or do I go for the one that I can't do but it may be a little bit safer? Let's find out. This has made it even more tricky because I have to balance bad foot forward to start this. So this is why you should learn to track stand either foot forward. Oh, come on. Oh. Right guys, I have been trying to tap that up to rear wheel for over an hour and I just can't do it. That is so frustrating. I hate walking away from stuff. I came so close to it, but I just cannot quite get that little bit extra to carry me all the way to the top. The main reason I'm not going to continue this is I can feel I'm actually starting to get a little bit of a blister on my hand and I don't have my gloves with me. If I continue this battle, it's going to stop me from riding anything else. So play it smart, come back to it, I know it's doable, and get it smashed next time. The annoying thing is, it's not even the tap that's the hard bit, it's literally setting up for the run-up and making sure you pedal absolutely perfectly straight. That's the thing that caught me out the most. On the plus side, I did actually manage to hook it a couple of times, and yeah, my goal was to try and get up it. Goal complete. I would have liked a bonus though. So it's been fun, or mostly fun, riding these rocks. It's been frustrating, but fun. Let's take this bike out onto the streets and see how it copes there. Come on. How was that not landed? That was the one, come on. Yeah! I have wanted that gap for so long. If you guys have been watching these videos for just a little bit, you'd have seen me trying this on my Echo comp bike, and I came close, but I just couldn't get it. This bike, it may not be as modern as the Echo, but man, it suits me so much better. I am so happy with that gap. Being honest with you, when I first built this up and I first went riding just to make sure everything was tight, I hated it. I really wasn't keen. I was like, this is the last straw for me finding like a comp style bike that I liked with geometry which suited me, and when I got on it and it felt awful, I was like, oh, comp bikes just aren't for me. But now that I've tweaked it a bit by pulling the bars back a little bit, adding some grippy pedals, it fits me so much better, and despite not being as extreme geometry, I feel I can go bigger on this bike. Oh man, so happy. Ha. Well, everyone, I'm going to call it there. I would have liked to have ridden a little bit more street, but as you can probably tell, my hand did blister up and it's actually really painful. Plus, I've run out of time. That gap took a lot of attempts. Other stuff took a lot of attempts, and I've got to go pick up Lady Jane from work very shortly. So, yeah, that's going to be it for you today. As usual, I have Patreon, I have merch, I have a PayPal donation link, all these things down in the description. I'd love to have your support to help this channel grow and just be possible. So yeah, any donation would be appreciated. Let me know what you thought of this video, let me know what you think of the bike, and have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you next time. So take care everyone, bye bye.